What's going on? Happy Resurrection Day. Happy day of love. Happy day of peace. Happy day of beautiful sunshine, of birds chirping, of a nice cool breeze panning across me right now. It's a beautiful day. It is a beautiful day. And each and every day is a beautiful day, right? Can we agree on that? All right, regardless of if we agree on that, I want to talk a little bit about self-care for energy sensitive people. So by the term energy sensitive, I mean highly sensitive, intuitive, empaths, individuals who may identify with those particular aspects. But even if you don't, this video is for anybody, because anyone and all of us, when it comes to self-care, it's definitely paramount. So one of the things I was journaling about this morning that I'm very fortunate and feel very grateful for is just this ability to sense what is going on and what's happening internally inside of my body. And paying attention to that and being present to that, because the more that we can feel into our bodies and the more that we can sense what our bodies are communicating to us, then the more information that we have that can help us in our decisions, the more that we can also be aware of what is maybe for us or what's serving us, and maybe what's something that we need to let go of. It's cool though. It's like this isn't a topic you see a lot of men speak on, and it's one of the topics I feel the most passionate about because of the trajectory of my not only my own life, but of in a sense seeing what can happen and what can be created when you tap into that beautiful intelligence that we all can harness, that we all have to a degree. So to kind of speak a little bit more on that and how that shows up and what that means in reference to how I'm putting it together in this video, energy sensitives, there is a necessity of really being present to what you're surrounding yourselves with in terms of your environment, in terms of the people in your inner circle, in terms of the music you're listening to, in terms of the media that you're taking in. All these things matter. One thing in particular, the human mind, has been a study done where the human mind has over 60,000 thoughts a day. How wild is that? 60,000 thoughts per day. And think about that. Like, where are those thoughts coming from? Outside of the advertising, outside of, what we're taking in if we're watching television or we're reading a lot of content on the internet, some of that is just our own thoughts that are going to appear naturally. Certain things that just pan inside of us, certain intuitions or insights. So the more that we can surround ourselves with more uplifting, whether it be thoughts, whether it be music, whether it be our food, whether it be our inner circle, the type of content that we're taking in, that we're reading, the vibration of that, the more that's going to settle us into what it is that we authentically align to. And one of the aspects I notice for a lot of men in particular, and I'm going to speak to that context, is there are so many men who are disconnected from their bodies, and I recognize on a personal level how that looks and how that feels. Whether it's using food, over consuming sugar or overstimulated from caffeine or coffee, whether it's through alcohol, maybe it's 1, 2, 3 drinks per night when you get home from work, or just to kind of take the edge off. And maybe within that context, there's some some numbing that's going on within that. Could be numbing out from just watching television. Oh, I'm just going to overconsume and take in as much of, you know, TV, Netflix, whatever it is, and not really go internal and not really see what's the body is trying to communicate to me. That could also be porn too. You know, I've spoken about this in my own personal experience, but you know, in the past I had a 15-year near porn addiction. And anytime certain type of emotions or certain type of energies would come up inside of my body, I had created this habit of just going and turning on porn. And porn was something that it was, you know, it was something that I found soothing, something that I know many men, and not only men, women as well, have been present to since they were, you know, even before their teenage years. That was a way I used to numb as well. And, you know, there's the prescriptions, all these different aspects. You know, we have so many different things in this world that we live in that can ultimately A, distract us, B, numb us, and C, keep us in this proverbial cycle of doing the same thing over and over and over and over again until there's some kind of break of that pattern, some kind of physiological response that is different than what has been created continuously over and over and over again. So I'm speaking in this video as an opportunity, an invitation to pay attention to what that is for oneself, how that shows up. You know what ends up happening, or what's happened in my experience, and I'm always looking for ways to lean up against my edge. You know, even this video right now, this is the 7th day of me filming videos every day this week in a row. I've never done that before. You know, I've written blogs, I've done some videos in the past, but this 7 days in a row, it's not something that I've ever personally done. So this has been an edge for me, you know, and it's cool. It's cool to just communicate and share that with you because just like anybody else, I'm continuing to learn and to grow and to evolve each and every day. And we're all doing that together. So as we're doing that, and I'm sharing this with you, here are 3 different ways where you can mindfully take care of yourself as an energy sensitive. One is right here behind me, spending more time in nature, you know, grounding yourself, taking your shoes off and putting your feet on the soil, putting your feet on the rocks and the grass, actually feeling that beautiful and vibrant earth energy that is coming directly inside of our bodies and our cells, and it's energizing us. You know, we as a human species, we weren't meant to be inside or meant to sit at a desk or a computer for 8, 10, 12 hours a day. Our bodies, we're meant to move. We're meant to, you know, if you're gonna salsa, yeah, we're meant to move. We're meant to just kind of flow with that. So the more movement that we can get in the body, the more naturally our energy and we're moving things around. It feels good for us. Number 2, and this is going to be very simple, but I still recognize that it is paramount when it comes to our health, is, my friends, drinking water. Drink water, water, water. In a over caffeinated society, you know, everybody has their coffee cups and getting their cups in. You know, personally, I'm so sensitive that I'm not even able to drink any coffee, period. Even if I had like a little tiny bit, and I'm not even talking about an espresso, I'm talking about just a little sip of someone's coffee, I'm unable to fall asleep in the evening. It's wild. It's wild over time how much more in tune one can become when they are paying attention to those subtle sensations in the body. And this is coming from someone who drank coffee, previously back in the day, at least 2 cups a day. I was kind of hustling. I had deadlines. I had things that were requirements at my previous corporate career that I wanted to make sure that my energy was on point. I wanted to make sure I could accomplish and do as much as I could. So the coffee, I thought, was helping me. Whereas on the inverse, it was overstimulating my nervous system, one, and two, it was actually pulling energy away from me and taxing my adrenal glands. you know, our adrenals regulate stress. 2 pea-size, I think grape-size actually, glands that sit on top of our kidneys, and their sole job is to monitor stress, whether that's mental thoughts, whether that's emotional feelings, whether that's physical, our bodies, or in a spiritual context, what our compass is, what motivates us, what's driving us, why do we feel like we're here on this planet, and what gift do we have to share with the world while we are here. How does that look? How does that feel? How are all of those interconnected? And coming back to number 3, it's meditating. That could be 5 minutes. Doesn't have to be, an hour long or any of these different aspects. There's different apps out there. There's Headspace. There is Calm. Trying it out, doing it for 30 days to quiet down this mind. As I mentioned before, 60,000 thoughts a day the average human being has. That's kind of crazy when you think about it. So the more that we can quiet this mind down, we can quiet the circuitry in there, and those neurons can start lining up together and start connecting, start forming new neuronic connections in our brain, the more that we are able to make concrete decisions and see things with more clarity, because our heads are not just going all in all these million different directions. Hopefully this all makes sense. I'm excited to share these with you because I think on the surface they sound very simple, but I was thinking about it this morning. I was like, man, what is something that I can share that is simple on the surface, but if incorporated on a daily basis, the impact is ginormous. So number 1, again, spending time in nature. Number 2, what was number 2? Number 2 was water. 32 ounces, this is my routine, 32 ounces, large 32 ounce cup of reverse osmosis water, sprinkling a little bit of Himalayan salt, putting half of a lemon wedge in there for the vitamin C, get those electrolytes moving, get those, what am I trying to say? Who cares? I don't even know. But get your body, get your organs fired up. Naturally wake up from that sensation instead of going straight to the coffee, or even going straight to the green tea. Get that water in before the green tea even comes in. And then the third was meditation. And maybe meditation could also be an aspect of just writing for 10 minutes. Freehand writing, just writing whatever is coming out 10 minutes a day, because that in itself is a concentration, it's a focus. A lot of people think of meditation, they think of you're not doing anything. Well, you actually are. You're being very present, you're connecting to source, however that looks for you, and you're connecting deeply to yourself. You kind of think of this canvas, this painting, where you have this clean painting to start each day, and then from that You can choose what strokes and choose what you desire to put on there. Instead of waking up already being on autopilot and then starting and doing all these different things where you're not making any room for anything new to really come in, for any creativity or any new possibilities. So again, sending you peace, love, excitement, positive energy, greatness on this beautiful day. Peace.